Welcome to my 2021 Holiday Card Series. You can find the reference material for all the paintings in this series by clicking on the project page link in the description of this video. We're ready to begin this Christmas card. This is just going to be a very simple scene with a few trees. And as with a lot of the Christmas cards I'm doing, I'm making it a snowy scene. So here's the template, which is available on the project page. And I'm going to splatter some masking fluid on using a toothbrush. Just dip it in the jar, splatter it around. I've done this on several of the cards for this year. They make them kind of snowy scenes. So this is a pretty simple scene with some trees and some rolling hills. And I just want to have the feeling of snow blowing around. So I'll tap it on my hand also. It'll give me some bigger drops. And that's probably enough. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that air dry, and then I'll begin to paint. The splatter that I put on here to simulate the snow falling has dried, but I've decided before I paint, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make these snowy trees. So I'm taking this fine line masking bottle that I have, and I'm gonna just give the impression that these trees have some snow laying on them. Makes sense that if it's snowing, that the trees are going to be a bit snowy. So I just take this bottle and put that on there. And I'm gonna put it on all the trees. And maybe I won't do so much with that one. So now we're going to let this dry also. You can do this all at once. I just decided here, after looking at this, that I was just going to go ahead and have some snow piled up on these trees. So we'll go ahead and let that dry, and then we'll start to paint. All right, this is dry and we're ready to paint. So I'm going to start by painting this sky. And I'm just going to take a little of my royal blue, a little raw sienna. All I want is kind of a gray blue, and the raw sienna I use does a pretty good job without turning things too green. And so now I've got this kind of a grayish blue that I'm going to drop down here. And let's see, I'm going to bring it all the way down to here. Right to there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little raw umber, some of that royal blue. I'm just going to make this a cool wet and wet application, just to suggest a tree line or something here. A little splatter. And I'm going to actually, let me add a little more color to that, I think. a little warmth. It's getting a little too gray for me. Take a little, even some of that gold. Okay. So now I've got a little color in there. You still even probably want a little more. Take some burnt orange. All right, now I'm going to pick up this excess here that's gathering right where the paper dries. Okay, so let me dry this, and I'm going to paint these snowy areas. So that's dry. And I'm going to take my wash brush with some of this kind of a grayed down blue that I've got, and I'll paint here. And I'm going to take some water. So I have that, and dry it a little. Then take some of this to show where the edges are. That's probably enough right there. So let me once again dry this. So that's dry. I'm undecided if I want to go darker here. I'm not sure if that's dark enough, but until I paint these trees, I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to take some sap green, a little royal blue, some rose madder, make it kind of a dark green. I'm going to take a little raw umber. And I just want a really neutral green. I have a little more red in one area here. So we'll go ahead and start to drop this in. So this is pretty dark value. Generally, I don't outline my trees like this. I just put a vertical line to indicate them, and then I build the tree on that. But I went ahead and I kind of drew the outline on these. A little more of this royal blue on this edge just to separate these two. And I think I'll go a little warmer. I'm going to add a warmer red, maybe a little as gold on this tree. I'm just going to go a little warmer to make it different from these. Not too much, but it's still very neutral. I don't want that to be that wide there. Take some of that up. And let's see, I want a little more interest in this edge, so I'm going to give the impression of some breaks in the snow where some rocks or something might be coming through. Do a little bit more of that here. Doesn't take much. And I think I will go a little darker here. So let me clean a spot on my palette. Get a little more of the royal blue. Gray it down a little bit. We'll go with that. Quite as big an area. All the way to the edge. A little darker here, a little darker there. All right, now I'm going to dry it, and I'll take off the masking fluid. Okay, that's dry, so now we'll go ahead and take off the masking fluid. And what I might do is get some of the raw umber, a little of this royal blue, give just a slight indication of a tree trunk in there. Maybe a little bit of one there. Probably a little wide. Let's try that again. All right. So let me take off the tape slowly, carefully. So now here we have our card, another snowy Christmas card. So have fun painting this, and have a happy holiday.